I was looking for this. Okay, so welcome to the 6th day of my little journey. As you know, the 5th day was a total emotional roller coaster and a good test for my riding skills and my riding endurance. I've managed somehow to survive the 5th day and to find a place to stay in town of Nikšić. So I woke up very early in the morning. I went to that tavern that I came last night, ordered some breakfast, and that breakfast really wasn't light. It was eggs with bacon, salad, pieces of bread, coffee and juice. And all of that food, and it was a lot of it, all of that food cost around 2.5 euros. I finished the breakfast and I thanked to the owner of that restaurant who helped me find the accommodation the night before. And I went out and saw clouds, like a gray sky. And I thought it was a bit like it will rain, it will not rain, kind of in between somewhere. But I decided to put my raincoat just in case, the rain trousers, rain jacket for the motorcycle. And I sat on a bike, and the goal is to reach the Tjentište or the National Park Sutjeska. The monument is situated there. The moment I start riding, I came to some big crossroad. I stopped on the traffic light. It was a red light, and I was looking straight forward, and I said, okay, I'll just go straight down there. The distance is about 150 meters. That's around, I don't know, 300 feet. Sorry, 450 feet. I was going straight forward, and at one point it felt like I hit the waterfall, literally. On the traffic light, it was okay, few drops here and there. About 50 meters or 150 feet later, I just hit the rain. I entered the rain so hard that I had an impression that I entered the waterfall and continue riding through the waterfall. The rain was so strong, so dense that I didn't see clearly the road sign that said that I should go left, and I missed the turn. I followed the path on the right, and I was just going forward. It was very early in the morning, so the traffic was very, very light, and I was riding, just thinking, for how long will I have to endure riding on the rain, because it is very tiring. For all of you guys who experience the rides like that, you exactly know what I'm talking about. So I was just riding in the wrong direction, going forward. I was looking at how many kilometers I passed, and you know, those kilometers just keep turning. It was pretty curvy road. It was wide, curvy road. And the visibility was really, really low. So it was a bit dangerous for me to ride on that weather conditions, but I had no choice. So at one point the road straightened up, and I saw it is just going straight forward. So I pull out the throttle. I was riding around maybe 60-70 miles per hour. That's around 100-120 kilometers per hour. And I just saw, like, through the visor, not clearly, that something is wrong. It still goes straight, the road goes straight, but I saw something ain't right with the road. So I just let go of the gas. The motorcycle starts slowing down slowly, and it was like someone just cut the road in half. The rest of it was just preparation for the road. You know, like those rocks that they put on the ground, and they use the machines to flatten it up. It was like riding a Dakar rally. So I freaked out at a moment. I stayed, I put myself in the standing position, and when I literally flew into that part of the road, I instinctively pulled my butt up, so I was standing on the motorcycle. I didn't touch the front brake, I didn't touch the gas, I just let it motorcycle to slow down by itself, and just gently was pressing the rear brake so I could take my speed down to some 40-50 kilometers per hour. That was around 30-35 miles per hour. So I was okay. This is not good, this is not promising, but I just continued riding because I was so sure that was the part of the road that I need to go to get the town of Gatsko, and from the town of Gatsko I need to go left to the Sutjeska National Park. Boy, was I wrong. So I continued riding in that direction. I was paying attention closely to the kilometer counter, and I traveled 7 kilometers on the heavy rain, on the kind of a road, like Dakar off-road rally road, and at one point I just stopped in the middle of nowhere, and there was a house on my right side, and there was like an old lady, a granny, standing and just looking at me. It was around 7 o'clock in the morning. It was pretty dark. I mean, dark for that time of the hour, that time in the morning. And I waved to the granny, meaning, can you please open up the window? I want to ask you something. And then she smiled and waved me back. And I said, no, just please open the window. And she opened the window, and I asked her, excuse me, ma'am, how can I get to the town of Gatsko? I came from Nevesinje. And she said, listen, Sonny, you missed. You have to go back all the way to Nevesinje, and there is a petrol station, and when you get to the petrol station, you use the road on the other side. And I was like, but I just came from there on this hell of a weather. And I was thinking, okay, why would Granny troll me in the middle of the nowhere under the rain condition and everything? So I was thinking, okay, I'll go back. At least I can go to the town and wait for the rain or wait for another day. So I thanked her a lot, and I went back with the same road, the same 7 kilometers, but in the opposite direction on that hellish rocky road to the Dublin, right? And I just kept driving, and it was all rain, and then I came to that point where the gas station was, and then I realized the old lady was right, and there was a road sign, a big yellow road sign with black letters and direction arrows saying that Gatsko is on the left. So the rain was so hard that I couldn't see through the visor that sign, and the sign was like, I don't know, 2.5 and 1.5 meter big. So okay, I just used the left road and went straight forward. I was riding, and the people, you know, like just some of the people hit the horn very shortly just to say hi, and I was waving back because it was a hell of a weather. At one point the rain started penetrating my clothes. The rain was that dense, that hard. That rain followed me all the way to Gatsko. I stopped on the petrol station to spend the last what they have from Boston money to pour the petrol in, and I was taking off the glove, and the water just fell out. Literally, I'm not lying, like from the tap. And the guy who works at the petrol station, he was pouring the petrol in a car, and he was looking at me like this. He was like, are you freaking insane riding on the weather like this? And I asked, excuse me, can you tell me how to get to Tjentište? And he said, bro, you really don't want to go there now. And I said, why? Because if the rain is hard, this hard here in town, over there, it is even worse. And he asked, what's your next destination? You have plan B? And I said, well, kinda, yeah, the plan is to enter the Montenegro and to go to the town of Nikšić. And he said, well, in this weather and in these conditions, I guess that is your only option. You should go straight forward. There is a T-crossroad around 200 meters from here. You just go right, straight down to town of Bileća, and you have the border crossing there that goes straight to Nikšić. I was kind of pissed off because I couldn't go to Tjentište, and again my plan didn't work out. Yeah, I sat on a bike, came to that crossroad and went to the right. But at one point there was a scene that I wanted to take a photo of it because it was so unrealistic. It looked like so dystopian, so futuristic. I don't know how to explain it. On that road near Gatsko there is a huge power plant that looks like a, I don't know, nuclear power plant. I stopped there. It was the road that goes around it, and it was so abstract moment because the sky was almost black, dark gray. The land, the ground is it was green, but it was pale green. The colors were all washed out, and there is that power plant that looks like a nuclear power plant, like Chernobyl or something, and everything was in gray shades, like some sort of a gray color. Even that grass around it, like nature, colors of the nature were in some shade of the gray. Even, you know, it's green, but it's so washed up that it was almost gray, and only colorful detail was the road sign that says no photographing. And I wanted to take a picture, so, you know, like to have it just with me, but I couldn't because the rain was so strong that if I pulled out the camera, the rain would destroy my camera. So with a huge sadness in my heart, I continued, and yeah, and later I came to that gas station. I left town of Gatsko. I was going straight down. It was a great road, by the way. It looked like a brand new. So I was riding on a heavy rain, riding, and at one point, just like this, I exited the worst riding conditions ever. Like I exited, like I exited the waterfalls, and I entered like somewhat clear sky. It was already blue with some clouds up there. No rain, no nothing. Sun is shining down on me, and I was like, bro, this was like waking up from a nightmare. The riding conditions literally turned like this. I never experienced something like that in my life. Maybe once or twice during my whole lifetime, but this was specific because this is like first time that happened to me while riding the motorcycle. And I was like, okay, let's use this moment and enjoy the good weather. So I pulled up the throttle a little too much. I think that speed limit was around 80 kilometers per hour, and I was around 80 plus 40 kilometers per hour, around, I don't know, maybe 70 miles per hour I was riding, or 120 kilometers. That was not recommended at all, but I was just too, you know, like positively charged, so I just had to like ride a bit riskier and to dry my clothes. I just, you know, I remember at one point there was a patrol car, police patrol car, standing, and they stopped some guy with a car, and I just flew besides them. I was like, okay, just ride, ignore the moment, maybe they will not come after you, and they did not. So I came to the Bilića, I went left towards the border, and there was like a huge lake near town of Bilića, just beside that border, and I was waiting for my turn to come to the border guards. I took off my rain suit, that actually didn't help much. But when I came to the border crossing, I gave my passport, and they was like looking. I gave all of my documents, and the border cop looked. He made some calls. He did something. It was my longest border stay so far. I passed the borders with no problem, like almost instantly. But this one took a while. I was there for like half an hour, and the border cop took a peek from his little house, and he said, wait, that is not green MG car with some British license plates? And I was looking, no, this is Honda motorcycle, white, with the Belgrade license plates. Oh, okay. He was just checking, and he was looking again, and I was like, is there any problems? And he said, well, it turns out that your vehicle is on the Interpol wanted list. And I was like, what? I just passed like a bunch of borders and nobody told me nothing. And he said, yeah, but you know, like the license plates are pretty much the same, but that is not a car. And I said, no, that is definitely not a car. And at one point he just came out of his little border house and went to meet his superior. He was there, I don't know, a few moments, came out, gave me the documents and said, don't worry, it's fine. And I said, what do you mean it's fine? You just told me that my vehicle is on the Interpol wanted list. How can it be fine? And he said, yeah, it's probably some mistake, etc., etc. You just enter and it will be okay. And I said, but when I come to some other border point, and he said, well, don't worry, we'll just put it in a computer in the system and it will be fine. I was like, okay. So I sat on the bike. I drove like maybe a few kilometers, and then I made a stop to take pictures of two monuments. One was in the process of restoration, and the other one was a bit further, a few meters on the side, and I just wanted to take a break there, you know, to just relax and enjoy the sun, you know. After my break, I continued to the town of Nikšić. There was a part of the road that was kind of mid-awful, right? But for enduro bikes, it is totally fine. Then after that shitty part of the road, you entered one of the best roads I drove. It was something like back in Bihać, a serpent-like road with a bit wider curves, and it was brand new, and it was again like a dancing a tango or something. Then after that I get to the intercity highway. I merged into that, went left, I rode straight forward. Then I saw another monument on the left side of the road. It was covered a lot with grass, but later that summer when I came to Montenegro again, I passed through that point and the grass was cut down. But the first time I got there, it was a bit grown into the grass. continued and I didn't stop until I came to the town of Nikšić, where now it is my ex-wife, but at that time she was my actual wife, right? And my son waited for me at her relative's place. So my son was there with his sister, so it's not a sibling, it's cousin sister, right? So I got there, parked my bike in front of the house, and the kids just jumped on, to play around riding the motorcycle. That was a 6th day of my travels, and it was exhausting the first part of the day because that rain really was an awful one. I had similar riding conditions few days later, but that will be in some other video. Right now, I would ask you guys, if you like the video, you should perhaps considering subscribing, liking, maybe even sharing the video, and I hope I'll see you next time. Time to put some cap on. Bye bye.